Hello lovelies, believe me, after watching this video to the end, you have no reason to throw away your soybean residue after sieving. That residue or waste you get after sieving your soybean powder is actually still very rich in fiber and nutrients. So why toss it away? Let me show you guys how to make these very delicious and chewy cookies. Of course, the very first thing you need is the star of the show, which is your soybean residue. You also be needing some sugar and then your baking powder and butter. Well, I had chia seeds at home. This is actually optional. You can add this if you like. So I went ahead to pour out the residue. So after pouring that out, I went ahead to add about 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar. You can use less or more depending on your preference. Next, I added about a teaspoon of baking powder. This actually depends on the quantity of residue you have. You can actually add 2 tablespoons. So the next thing that went in was my powdered milk. I added also about a teaspoon. If you have liquid milk, that will also work. So basically I just mixed everything together. Guys, if you need a full measurement of the ingredients I use here, please check the description box. I went ahead to add my butter, and this butter I would advise you to add it in bits. Please do not add so much butter at once. It's better you just keep adding the butter and mixing it properly to be sure that you do not make it too sticky when you're using your finger to form it into a dough, if you guys understand. Guys, at this point I realized that the spoon just wasn't working for me anymore. I just had to use clean hands and work on this, and you can see that it's forming crumbs gradually. So that is how you would gradually add your butter and keep on mixing. So at this point I added a little water and kept on working on it. I also added my butter. I said we are adding the butter in bits, little by little. Don't put so much at once. So guys, we're actually making these cookies in 2 batches. The first batch, which is this one we are doing now, I did not add flour to this, but the second batch we are going to be adding flour. So at this point guys, you can see that dough is forming up gradually. So I just drizzled in a little cinnamon powder to this. You can actually use vanilla flavor if that is what you prefer. So next we start forming our cookies by molding it just like I am. The way I'm molding this thing looks as if I have delicious obono soup by the side. So basically just do it that way, just mold it, and then it's time for us to form it into a beautiful shape. It's quite simple. You can just take your fork and just press it down the way I'm doing in this video, but you don't have to be rough, just gently so that you don't scatter it. So for the next line, I just use my palm to press it, rub it down, and then just place it on the oven pan. So guys, if you've watched to this point, please subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so that you can know whenever I upload a new video. Support a growing YouTuber. Okay, thank you guys. Well, the next thing you do is to use your fork to give it beautiful designs in front. Kids love things like this. In fact, at this point my kids were already around me waiting for these cookies to be ready. So if you have kids, you can bake this around kids. They would actually enjoy to watch you. It's also an opportunity to bond with them so that they can also see the importance of not being wasteful. So please guys, don't be distracted by the ribbon on my wrist. My baby girl put it there. So at this stage we were almost done with molding and designing of the cookies, and the next thing would be to put our tray in the oven to bake. While that is baking, we'll get ready to bake the second batch of the cookies. So this is what's left of the dough, and we're going to put some flour in that. I actually put in about 2 or 3 tablespoons of flour, and I started working on it. At this stage, you just have to just put a little water. You can also add a little butter, add sugar if you like, and then to this batch I actually added chia seeds. Then just add whatever suits you. So just basically add everything gradually. You can see at this stage I added some baking powder. So I quickly went to check on our cookies that was baking for like 20 minutes, and guys, just look at that. It didn't even take much time. It didn't take time at all, and this cookies tasted so delicious and chewy. So guys, if you haven't watched my video on how to make soybean powder, please do so, because if you made your own soybean powder with crayfish, I can't actually promise you how that would taste if you make cookies out of it. So if you haven't seen my video, please do so. So for this batch, I added some groundnut as toppings. I love this recipe because you can actually be versatile. You can choose to add seeds as toppings. You can use chocolate chips. You can also use groundnut just like I did. So basically, this is done baking in 20 minutes, and the outside of these cookies is crunchy while the inside is very chewy. Do try this at home and let me know you did. Thank you.